Oh my God, Randall. Welcome back to another episode of Just Win. And if you haven't ever seen an episode, Just Win is about everyday people. It's about bringing light to how everyday people overcome obstacles and how they endure the hard things in life and how they become successful through that. And today we have a friend. He's a good friend, and he's a great designer. My guy Randall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, Randall is always modest, so don't take his personality as being so modest, because I always want to gas him up. And that's what happens with super talented people, is you need people around you to gas you up. Yeah. And so I'm here to gas him up today, but to also talk about being a black man in a fashion industry.
Yeah.
And, you know, to give you a little background about Randall, he's had the opportunity to work with Mr. Kanye West himself.
Yeah.
And Kanye to me is a genius in regards of how he looks at fashion, how he takes an idea and make it his own, and how he utilizes people of your talent to be able to help him go to the next level.
Yeah.
What was it like, first of all, working and being in meetings and being on the fashion side of things with a working Kanye that's focused?
I mean, I think it was pretty amazing. You know, he's able to bring a bunch of different talents into one room and work towards his goal. So that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest talent he has. It's like being a coach or being a recruiter at a team, and just being able to pick players. Be like, oh, I want this Michael Jordan. I'll take LeBron. Maybe let me get a J Kidd. Somebody can facilitate. So he's able to bring a bunch of different superpowers together, or superpower people, players, bring them in and like put them towards one goal, like his goal ultimately. So I think that's probably one of the best things that he's able to do, is recruit really good people to like create for him.
That's something that stands out when I talk to all these different people that are successful in different things. It's always less about what they can do. Yeah. And it's always more about the people around them, of what they can do, and how smart they are. And you hear it all the time, social media posts all of these like motivational, inspirational clips, and make sure you have a team around you that's smart. But this is actually true.
Yeah, yeah.
Put a team around you that are very good at what they do. Yeah. And then get them to have one vision. Yeah. When you talk to a championship coach, that's what coaching is. Take a bunch of individuals, figure out what they do very well, try to put them in that position on the court, get them to work together, and then get them to share and work towards one goal. Yep. That's what sports is.
Yeah. That's what he does off court. That's what he does in fashion. And at the end of the day, like, I think, how a coach is portraying, like, this is how I want this play to be executed. Right. You can see it in the design. He brings 5 different people, gives them the same kind of brief, the same ideas, the same references, and then they end up creating pretty much the same thing, which means that in terms they're all on the same page, even though they're 5 different people. Oh. Yeah. So it's literally just like being a coach. So I think, he does a good job at that for sure. Like, that's probably the best thing.
So with your expertise, what are some of the projects for the people that don't know you that you were able to be a part of and have an impact on for Ye in his whole fashion thing?
Yeah, so I mean, my background's in architecture. So when I first got there, he did allow me, like, dibble and dabble in architecture stuff. Sometimes he puts you in, mess around in some apparel as well. But when it comes to the things that I did, like, as my expertise, like the 1050, it's like the orange boot.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, the insulated boot, it's like a puffy boot. Quantum basketball, the knit basketball shoe.
Tried them on. I had them on.
Yeah,
You brought them over here too.
yeah.
I had them on. They actually was nice.
Yeah. They're
straight.
Nice, bro. A little heavy, but they're straight though.
They're straight.
Yeah, and then the pods most recently. So, all of these things have teams around it as well, right? So I'm not the only person,
right?
Whether it's from the marketing side or whatever, material side. But yeah, those are the things that I was able to
now the pods,
put my stuff in.
Don't just skip over that.
Yeah.
Like you actually brought a prototype pod to the facility, and I was able to see it early. He's like, "Don't say anything." I was like, "I ain't saying anything." And the funny part is, I was in Dubai working, me and Dwayne, and I'm running the Ye in the lobby. Yeah. And he hollered, "Hey, Chris, come to the studio later." And they were working on an album with him and Lil Durk and Ty Dolla.
Yeah,
I love Ty Dolla. And all of them was in the studio. Ye brought me in the studio, and he had the pods on. So we leave the studio later that night. He said, "We're gonna go to dinner," and then we get in the Sprinter van, and I said, "Ye, take them off your feet. Let me see these things." And I gave him some feedback, and he was just looking at me like, I was like, "Yo, this can be really huge for women."
Yeah.
Because women, where I'm from, when they wear shoes that are uncomfortable, they always keep a pair of shoes in the bag.
Yep.
And my thought went to like, how many people go to church? And I was telling you, I was like, look, that's a whole market for that. I don't know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
But there's a whole market for women that wear uncomfortable shoes after the clubs that can, how big is the pod?
There's like small, medium, and large, so different sizes.
But they can fit.
They can fit different, it's like 2 to 3 sizes.
In a bag, a small bag?
Oh, yeah. You could fold them up. Like, they can fold in half, too.
What did you do with that shoe? Like, what was your part of that shoe?
I mean, most of it. Like, literally, we had 2 other designers. We had developers and stuff like that. Actually, we worked on something like that when we were at Adidas. So when we came, when he was done with Adidas, we had an idea of what it would look like, but it was just in a different way. We had to execute it totally different because you're not dealing with a big conglomerate like a large company anymore. You're trying to build it yourself. So, I mean, we all had different pieces and parts of it, but we had it like, it was already like created and cultivated because it's a sock.
It's a sock with like, because some people don't know.
No, it's like a sock. There's a footbed. There's a rubber outsole. But we had to make sure that it was designed in a way that it was still comfortable. Like, even things where we would test it didn't have reinforcements in certain areas. Like, you don't want to stub your toe with this. And if it's too large, you don't want your heel to slip out of it. So there was just a bunch of different things that we had to figure out. And we did some of that here in LA. We did a lot of that in Italy. Like, we were in Italy for like 2 months straight almost.
Yeah.
Like,
I seen you going back and forth. I was like, yo, where you at? I'm in Italy. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But that's dope. And so being an architect, because like I'm thinking about my daughter, which I think she's like an architect. An architect is someone that is very technical.
Yeah.
And so with your expertise, you choosing fashion is one thing.
Yeah.
But you were helping me design some products in basketball also. Yeah. So you're not limited to one particular field when we're talking about being an architect.
Yeah.
It's your vision, it's how you see it, and then the technicality, right? Kind of break that down to me.
Yeah, I mean, so I've said this before, like, I think footwear is like small scale architecture. And, being an architect or studying architecture, you can go into different facets of design. Like, you're not really stuck to one area just because you study architecture. But if I were to study like footwear or did apparel, you're not going to become an architect after doing that. And that sounds messed up, but it's just how it is. The technical background that we get as architecture, the blueprints, the dimensions, the scales, everything that we've learned all transfers into this small scale architecture, whether it's, like basketball products, like we've talked about before, whether it's footwear, furniture, doesn't matter. It all it transcends into other different designs. So from going to building this big space, Now we're just compacting into something smaller. So that's just like, that's the way I saw it once I moved from architecture to like product design. And it's an easier transition than doing the reverse, to try to go and be an architect.
You know, people don't ever get an opportunity to pick the brain of an architect, and that moves into fashion design. Yeah. You really don't, and a lot of times people don't even know where to start. So just because you have an idea doesn't mean you can't execute the idea. You have to find experts that can take your idea and make it become reality.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Because that's what you're basically doing is you can take a 3D render, you can take it, build it.
Yeah, everything. I mean, it's like you had a problem, or you saw a problem, and you're like, this is how I want to solve it.
This is how I want to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Because I own products.
Yeah, absolutely. So like with your product line, like with the, I can't remember, the blind defender.
My blinders.
Yeah, the blinders like that. You already knew what the problem was. My guys are looking down, trying to dribble the ball. They're looking at it. They don't know where the defense is.
They don't know where the defense is. They don't know where teammates. You don't know where nothing. I don't know where the coach is. I can't even dribble. The coach looking. I got to look. Coach, what? So now he moved me off the ball, and my dad mad.
My dad can't play. But yeah, like those products, you had a problem, and now you made a product to solve it.
Yeah.
So like, you're the innovator as well too when it comes down to it.
Oh, absolutely. My vision. I had to get out of my own way because I was like, okay, I see problems. How do I solve it? And then I was like, well, I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. And then you realize there are people that don't have the idea, but they have the execution.
Yep.
And that is a difference in how to run a business.
Yeah.
I don't have to know how to run the whole business. I got to find people in between.
Yeah.
To be able to run the business and share the success of the business with. So sharing is like so important.
Yep.
And for me, you're so modest as a designer. You're rocking something right now.
Yeah.
That's your new line.
Yep.
I mess with it. And you gave me a pair. I actually got the socks on now. Yeah. Can you tell us the brand name of the new apparel?
Yep.
What was the concept? Where are you at with it? And where can we find it?
Yeah. Brand is called Joyshed. And the breakdown of Joyshed is Joy Road and Hollingshed. Joy Road's Detroit, Michigan.
Yep.
Hollingshed, Irmo, South Carolina. So I was born in Detroit, moved to South Carolina when I was 9. And everywhere I went, like after being in South Carolina, being there, where are you from? Where are you from?
Yeah, that's the question.
So, I'm from Detroit. Said that the whole time I was in South Carolina because that's where I was from. At that time, that's who I was. I was Detroit Pistons. I was Red Wings. I was Tigers.
Not the Lions. Not at that time.
I was definitely the Lions.
Not
Barry
at that
Sanders.
time.
And
with Barry Sanders.
Y'all see what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we should be at New Orleans, but hey, it's fine. But that was like the start of me growing up. So that was where music, sports, Detroit, architecture, every fashion, all that in Detroit. And I was only 9, but went to South Carolina. Then the very first time that I noticed that I didn't represent South Carolina enough was when I went to Florida, when I went to school. I got there like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Detroit. Oh, what high school did you go to? I was like, oh, I went to high school in South Carolina. Started getting mixed up because that was one question. The next question they asked me, where are your parents from? Like America.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I'm in Florida. Their parents are from the Caribbean. They're from South America.
Yep.
So it was just this thing where when I started the brand, I wanted to make sure that I was cherishing the 2 places I grew up at, and then also the people too. Because I didn't want anybody in Detroit to be like, oh, man, hold up, man, what about us?
Right.
I didn't want the people in Irmo to be like, well, hold on, you from here too.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I merged the two together, and it took forever to get to the name and to like like the logo itself.
Yeah, we got to talk about the logo because the logo is puffed.
Yeah,
it's a little
puffed,
bit raised.
Yeah.
So if you know, Karina, if you zoom in on them logos, check out that logo right there. It's a little puffed.
Yeah.
And it's a unique design.
Yeah.
And my daughter being an artist, I'm really now into looking at things through her vision.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to figure out how can I help her become successful with what she does.
Yeah.
And so these things are super unique to me now, and you know, than where they were before. So talk about the design.
Yep.
How did you? It looked like a thumbprint.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's what I started off with. I literally like took some black ink, and I put it down. And I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. Like, I like that." But then I was like, "That's," I don't want to say stupid, but it was like, "Okay, you're not gonna put your actual fingerprint everywhere." So I went back and I just tried to make something a little bit cleaner. What happened was when I went to try out the puff from the first time, they were like, "Hey, look, we can't do all these like small intricate lines." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got to figure something else out. So I went back to the drawing board, just started sketching, and I got to this point where I wanted to like exaggerate the fingerprint itself, but visually you could still see it. So that's where it came from, and it's just like the ability to put like, you know, your DNA, your hands on the product to make sure people know like there's love in the product that you're making. And somebody, I was talking to them, they're like, "Oh, I like the logo and stuff. Is it your fingerprint?" I was like, yeah. But they're like, "Oh, well, I thought also since it goes through this whole creative process, you got people that make the material because everything's made in America. So like the cotton's made in America.
But you engineer it.
Yeah. I do the design, the technical design and stuff. Everything.
And then you send it off for production.
Yeah, here in LA.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I
because some people don't do that.
Nah,
just so you know,
blanks. Yeah.
They just use blanks. Like somebody else engineered it, and then you put your name on it. That's me.
Yeah, which is fine though.
Because I want your stuff.
Yeah.
I want Joyshed, and I want to put put Just Win on it. And I want to represent a brand that I know and connected to.
Yeah.
Like the brand I have on now.
Oh yeah.
This right here is 1990. It's only represented through my brother Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Li Ning. And his brand. And so I've made a conscious effort in fashion to only wear who I know.
Yep.
Or someone or a brand that represents something that I can believe in.
Yeah.
So no longer do I want to be seen in just brands of people's last name that I have no connective power to or what they really stand for.
Yep.
So I would rather walk in all black in solitude and not represent anything than just to be putting on a brand to become advertisement for the brand. Because Joyshed is going to be a big brand.
Yeah.
And that's why we got to get the people in it. Because the people is what make the brand.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So, and I know, like I said, you're very modest, being the founder of Joyshed and an architect, someone that has credibility in the industry, and now you're building a brand. Eventually, you don't want to be the face of the brand.
No.
You want to be behind the brand.
Yeah, I want the people to be the face of the brand. Like, at the end of the day, like, people get attracted to brands because of the person, but then also, like, it's the storytelling. It's like the people that they involve in it. So anytime that I do stuff, like whether it's a shoot, whether it's the models, anything that I can, I'm trying to bring people in and then make sure that it's shared the right way. So yeah, I'm definitely super modest. I'm not the best marketing person, but the ability to try to do like what I said Ye does is like bringing people in to make sure that you're using their powers for not just the betterment of yourself, but also to show exposure for them too.
Absolutely.
So, no, you're definitely right. Like, it's something that I'm still working on.
Yeah.
But like, these are products that are coming out soon.
So if there is someone out there before we sign, I say we, before Randall signs with someone that is marketing, advertisement, and before he gets in these big stores, make sure you reach out to us, because people always wonder how to get in on these brands. They wait until it blows up.
Yeah.
And it's too late to even have an opportunity to work and get into these stores and stuff like that. When you see it, you're like, oh. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the funny thing is, Rand, I was watching an episode on YouTube where this group of men, I don't want to even talk about their product, they created a product here in LA. They went to the store and they made it look like everybody wanted it. They spent like a couple of grand and made it look like it's sold out. They put it in the store. They had people go in and buy it.
Yep.
And once they sold out, that store said bring it back. And then 2 other stores in the area they went to and they said, hey, we've already sold out. Here's the numbers. And we sold out in 5 days. And within a month, they were in 3 to 4 of the biggest stores in LA, privately owned stores that represent clothes with that strategy. Would you do that? That's cold strategy.
I think it's interesting for sure. I think it's smart.
You're too modest to do it.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
You.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the honest factor. It's real tough to like.
Bro, now they've made like millions of dollars.
I believe it, yeah. I mean, yes, I would definitely think about it. I think one of the things is like, I guess it's like the honesty portion of it.
You didn't steal none of Ye's ideas of like marketing strategy. The dude's a genius.
Oh yeah,
he knows how to take media.
Right now. Yeah.
He take the media.
Yeah.
And he use it against
I mean, he definitely is.
And since you've been around him and I've been around him, Corey's been around him.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. He's a great father.
He's a smart. He's smart with it.
Yeah, and he's not afraid.
No, he's definitely not afraid. Not afraid.
So we either have to figure that out, or, you know, when I used to do all of these, Nike shoots.
Mm-hmm. I remember those.
I never seen Phil Knight.
Oh, word.
No. I never seen Phil Knight.
Ever? Like,
why would he be at the photo shoot?
No, not at the photo shoot.
At the commercial.
Yeah.
So when I learned about building a brand, I thought about Just Hoop, or I thought about Just Win, and building brands. The brand is not built around an individual or a person.
True.
I got my check, and the people that were there to do their jobs were there in the commercial shoot for Nike.
Yeah.
I've done many of them. Why Phil wasn't there? Because he built a brand.
Yeah, true.
And so that's when I look at building a brand. That's what it's like. I don't want to be the face of a brand. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's not what a brand is. A brand is something that can sell on its own. One of my good friends and business partner, Master P, shout out to Master P.
Yeah.
Master P, yeah.
They can say,
He's one of the best business minds I've ever encountered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like,
true.
This is what he told me, and I'll share it, and P, you come back and you verify it. Product don't talk back, and products outweigh talent.
Oh.
So he would rather focus on a product than the people. Product don't argue back. They don't show up late, anything. They're on time. And they're grateful and appreciative. And products outweigh talent. So no matter how talented you are, if you create a product like salt, I don't need to say a brand, they need to pay me. But if I took salt and I put salt in a bottle and everybody started to buy salt,
yeah,
and I created the best salt in the world, it ain't about me, because now it outweighs who I am. So we make people really wealthy by buying their brands.
Of course.
And if you look at the brands, especially in the black culture, because we're talking about fashion and brands, and we support brands that are not in our community.
Nope, definitely not.
We don't even know them. It's made in places that are cheap.
Yep.
They slap the branding on it, and ship it across the water, and the price goes from 50 cents every time it goes across the water, all the way up to now you got a T-shirt on. You proud that you spend $85 to $100 on a T-shirt that was made at like 50 cents.
It's crazy.
And that's why, having you on the show is important, because it's a real struggle for you being an architect and building a brand new brand.
Yeah.
Being a black man in the fashion industry, what are some of the things that you got to overcome?
Ooh. I mean, obviously, when you walk into the room, you black already. So, like, that visually is a thing that's kind of, you just stand out immediately.
In the fashion world.
In the fashion world.
Because you're in Paris.
Stand out. Yeah, absolutely.
You're in Italy.
Italy, London, doesn't matter where you're at. Like, you stand out immediately. So that's probably one thing. And then when it comes to footwear, it's even smaller. Like, not just like the black people in footwear. That's also a small minority, but just being in footwear in general, it's already small. Like, it's a minute group of people. So I think that's probably one of the hardest things that you have to overcome. But for me personally, I've been jumping over hurdles my entire life. Like, I had a counselor back in high school, and I was, about to graduate. So you applying to colleges and stuff like that. And so I had to meet with her about my college counseling or going into college. Get there, she's like, "Hi, Randall, hey, I looked through your stuff, and I was thinking maybe you should apply to a community college." And I was like, well, she don't know me, because obviously she's dumb and she didn't read none of my papers. Just in 11th grade, I went to community college to take an advanced math course, because I did
you
not
had to
pass.
overcome that, though.
Yeah, I had to overcome that.
You could have went the other way.
Yeah, or I could have listened to her and been like, "Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're my guidance counselor. You're supposed to guide me.
Absolutely.
So I should do what you're saying." But I was like, obviously she's dumb. I don't remember her name, but she's dumb. And but like, I knew that was something that was going to continue to happen throughout my life. So, that's a hurdle that I had to already overcome, and I don't know, it was one of those things that it just didn't bother me enough. It bothered me enough to the point where it was like, it was fuel. You just added fuel to me. Like, you don't even know how I'm about to go right now.
People get discouraged.
Yeah, for sure.
Very well. I mean, like, I wasn't a top student in high school. Yeah. I progressively became a better student because I actually learn how I learn.
Yeah.
Some people are visual. Some people auditory. Some people have to see it kinetic-wise. And that's how I coach, is I really get in tune with the student of how they learn best.
Yeah.
And being a teacher or a coach is really not about you, but it's about the student. And this is where I excel at, is looking at my student and figuring out what they do great, and if we got it, let's run. Let's not look back. We don't need a plan B, C, D. We don't need another plan.
Yeah.
Because we can pivot when it's time to pivot. I like the people to excel at what they do. We don't need no plan Bs, Cs, Ds, F. You don't need that. I don't need that. I need somebody to say, hey, you can do it, and let's go through it. Yep. So how do we get particular African American or kids of color, black, whatever, however you want to call it, technically. How do we get them more involved in architect? Because architect deals with math.
Yeah.
Because being an architect, then you can build homes, it's a lot that you can do in that.
Absolutely.
So how do we first get them into architect, and then you can expand into fashion? Because a lot of them don't understand that side. They're just looking at fashion because in our culture, we swagged out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We swagged out.
Yeah, that's fact.
We swaggy.
Yeah, no question.
look at your trip.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, honestly, I think the fact that it's on us to go back into the communities and make sure we're giving back and sharing the knowledge. Because what happens is, like, even being a black male, in the industry, fashion, footwear, product, a lot of times we don't share. I mean, I'm not pointing fingers at people. I'm just saying, like, people don't like to share. They want to be the only black person in the room sometimes.
Right.
And I don't understand that. I'd rather see more black people in the space. And so anytime I can give knowledge to people, I'll give it out. Like, there's plenty of people that hit me up like, hey man, I got this kid in college. He wants to just hear a story. He wants to, like, you know, just ask a few questions. That's perfectly fine. Like, I have no issues with that, because it's on me to take the knowledge that I have and share it back. Because if I'm not comfortable, if I'm not as good as I think I am, then I would be afraid to share that information, because then, oh my God, they're gonna take my spot. Right. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
It's like this is what you do on court too. Yeah. You're giving the knowledge away, but you're doing it to build them up. You're not worried about them coming and taking your job.
No,
like, you know what I mean?
You can't replace me.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
saying.
one of one. And this is something I tell Corey all the time. Bro, relax. Can't nobody replace us. We ain't running no race for nobody.
Exactly.
And I know when people look around and you see in the industry of social media training and stuff, not no dang on trainer. I say, man, what are they doing? Me and Phil Handy, shout out to my brother, 20 years. Like, all we've done is you give to the game and you grow the game.
Yep.
We call it family tree. And we don't all have to see the game exactly, but you share with the people that actually want to know. Yep. And we want to help you grow and build your business the way you want to build it. So if you want to be in our company, Just Hoop, and you fit the model and you have the attitude that we need, come on. If you want to build your company and you need come on. Yeah. We have a curriculum to help you build yourself as a coach. Yeah. Sharing knowledge is so important because it does make you an expert.
Yeah, exactly.
And being an expert, there's no competition.
Yeah.
It's like being a professor at a university. You got a PhD. It's other doctors.
Yep.
Your uniqueness is the way you present it, how you see it, how you communicate it. That's why I know we're talking fashion, but in the basketball world, you got people like, I know more basketball than him. You should be coming to train with me. And so many people hate on the OG. I brought 90% of these guys they see run around on social media. They all come in here like this, and then they go take a little piece of the system and try to build their system versus coming to me saying, man, I want to build. Yep. Can you help me? Yeah, I can help you. I'm looking at you. I seen, dang it, I'm always reading and everything. Somebody posted Deion Taylor. Mm-hmm. Deion Taylor, black, filmmaker, Karina, Hidden Empires. Yep. And he tells stories and everything. He posted something that said, we see you watching and we see you doing what we're doing versus taking and give the credit. We see you watching. That's damn shame. We see you taking. Just come back and say, man, I admire your work. I admire every time I see you, I'll be like, bro, you clean. When can I get that? Because you're on your way. Yeah. And I can see it, whether it's today or tomorrow. What make you on your way is getting the people into the brand, Joyshed. Yeah. And it has a story behind it, and everything has a concept. You show me how the weighted. I mean, you was telling me that last night. You was like, bro, this is like heavy material.
Yeah, this is heavy material. It's like early 2000s Iverson, baggy, comfy fit. But I'm gonna evolve from that as well. But it's just like pulling in those pieces. That's why it's called Joyshed. I'm pulling in the community. I'm pulling in, my upbringing, all these things that I've seen and learned. I'm just adding it to the product. And right now, like, it's very like, it's kind of like my character where it's like kind of chill and the colors aren't like
they gotta be loud, bro. We gotta go bold. I'm on Randall, man.
He said loud.
Because at some point I was studying I'm in love with studying great people at what they do. And I'm not talking financial. I'm talking about great people at what they do. I'm obsessed with learning how they think, how they move, what triggers them, what pushes them, how they so locked in. And I'm trying to be a student of the habits that you're learning. Yeah. So like don't give me the talent of being an architect and being able to design something, because the world gonna know. Because I'm gonna be like, yo, Bob, you got to get this today. I've been on Randall all the time about this, bro. About the brand and where it's gonna go, and then your experience. And so, for me, I don't have a fashion bone in my body. When I say fashion, I'm talking about like the real industry of fashion. You know, everything is not streetwear or urban. You know, it's different walks of life when it comes to fashion. And I always like to see uniqueness from the socks I have on your socks all the way down to the design where you can design your own shoes and everything with that. What would you like, and this is going to be a battle for you, where would you like to see Joyshed within the next 12 months? Just 2025.
Ooh, that is a big one. I think really just one of the big things is just, you know, putting stuff out there. Because, like, everybody has an idea. Everybody gets to a certain point, right? But they don't put it out to the world. That's always the hardest part, is getting over the actual hump to get it out to the consumer. So just being able to get this out there to the people, to the consumers, to see like how they wear it, you know, what they think of it, and then how I keep building from there. That's one thing. It's just getting the product out there, because it's taken so long. Like I make it here in America. I make it with the community. Like it takes time. It's not as easy as just like going and printing on blanks.
Right. Because it's not mass production.
No, it's not mass production at all. Like, this is one sample. I only have 4 samples of these where it's, you know, it's my pattern and everything like that. So it takes time to get there, especially from the way that I'm doing it versus me just buying blanks. But that's just like one portion of it. So getting it out to the consumer. The next thing is being able to like really get into the community and share my knowledge with like the youth, because like I have a collaboration with one of the Detroit professional teams. I won't say names, but it'll be happening.
It's about to drop.
Yeah, it'll be happening, and they want to do something. I told them, I was like, hey, look, I want to do community activation. Like, I love the fact that I can do this collaboration, but how will I help little Randall,
right,
like back in Detroit? How do I go back and be
expose them to this knowledge?
Let them know.
Because I seen the collaboration is lit.
Thank you. So yeah, just being able to do that. So it's like getting the product out there and seeing how people, you know, respond to it and, you know, vibe with it, how they wear it, but then also making sure that I'm going back to the community, whether it's knowledge, helping out, just because it's important, man. It's like you were saying before, like, how does someone get into the industry? You know, how does it being a black male in the industry or a black female in the industry? Those are big things, big hurdles that people have to overcome. Why can't I be one of the people to help them get there without it being a hurdle? They don't need to have a hurdle if we are.
It's a blueprint.
Yeah, why not?
You got a blueprint.
Absolutely.
And I think having a blueprint, sharing the blueprint, people that actually want to be where you are will take it and run with it. And the other people that don't want it, they'll go on their own way.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I've really noticed I had to get over. It probably would have caused me having anxiety to expect someone to want it as bad as I want it.
Yeah. I
had to surrender to that. I had to surrender to the fact that you may not want it as bad as I want this. Yeah. And even though I may not have it where I want it today, I want it so bad.
Yep.
I want it so bad I can't even sleep. And when I'm asleep, I'm dreaming about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's unique because, like, I grew up always thinking about being an NBA player, right? But that wasn't even my dream.
Dang.
Yeah. Like, my life that I have today is exactly how I dreamed it to be. You know what I mean? Like, I gave everything to the game. The same way I am today is the same way I was growing up. I maxed out.
Yeah.
Put the time in every category. And you learn that you change, and when you change, you grow into a new self. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where fashion grows. Because I'm a 90s guy. I grew up with cross colors, Jabot jeans, Guess jeans. You know, y'all going to laugh. Most people don't know what BKs are. Gangsta Nikes, which was a Cortex.
Yeah, Cortex.
I grew up with wearing our jerseys backwards. You know, African signs, and freedom of expression through clothes.
Yeah.
Like, it was real fashionable wearing overall jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Like, and then it went from overall pants to 3/4 pants to the shorts, you know, with the different hats and the Kango and freedom. Art is freedom of expression. Yeah. And the older we get, the more we lose the freedom of expression.
Yeah, society.
Yeah, it's like, society. I was looking back at pictures, I'm like, man, I express myself through clothes.
Yeah.
So what you're doing with Joyshed and what you're doing with your clothing line, we need to get it into the youth.
Yeah.
And let them express themselves.
That's true. Yeah.
Through the clothes, you know, because I can see it rocking.
Yeah,
I can see it rocking right now, and then you working with them. Maybe it's a community program or something you could build here, and you know, take off with it. But man, I'm so proud of you. Proud to have you as my brother.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know we didn't get to mention about that launch with the professional team back in Detroit, but it'll be out soon.
Yeah, it'll be out soon.
It'll be out soon. Is there like a place that people can go and purchase Joyshed?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, it's joyshed.com.
It's
Joyshed, joyshed.com. Yep.
And they can go purchase?
They can go purchase. This will be up next week, Monday.
Limited, okay.
Yeah.
I need to go and purchase because that's a summer drop. That's cold. I love the charcoal.
Thank you.
Is it charcoal?
It's charcoal.
I'm kind of colorblind, so don't.
Vintage black. It's like vintage black. Like, you've worn it a while. Like, you had it for a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah, and then like the vintage gray, and then the vintage cream, where it's like, or vintage white, where it's like it's an off-white color. Where you've worn that T-shirt a good bit, so it's getting a little yellow. But this is just like the color palette, just simple.
If y'all would like to see Randall do a fashion show here in LA. Of his spring line, and it don't have to be a crazy venue. Drop comments below, and let's see if we can get like a poll or something going to motivate him. That's really a designer.
Yeah,
you're an actual designer.
Yep.
And the more people I encounter that are architects and designers, they are not really comfortable being out front. Mm-hmm. Because they always focus of doing work by themselves.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's something that we focus on Just Win is, you know, that mental resilience and endurance of reshaping how you look at yourself. Mm-hmm. And that will take you to the next level. And getting some people to be in the front of the brand and taking that brand to the next level. And it's Joyshed is at IG.
Yep, Instagram too. Yep, TikTok as well.
And YouTube.
No YouTube, not yet. No.
Gotcha. We need a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that'd probably be smart.
Because we can see what you're doing behind the scenes.
That's true. I need to do that.
Yeah, I want to know.
Maybe a Twitch. Maybe I'll do Twitch where I'll like go in and do like sketches and stuff. Let people see like behind the scenes stuff. I'm
still trying to learn Twitch, but I'm going to do it. I got young people that work here at Just Hoop.
Yes, facts.
That I ain't saying no names. That I'm like, yo, bro, like teach me Twitch.
Yeah.
And like, damn, yeah, I'm like, bro, you only 24 years old, bro. And so I would like to have a Twitch too. Because I could share a lot of information.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about Twitch, but I want to learn. We got YouTube, we got IG, we got TikTok, but I got young people that work here. I don't know why you looking at me like that. Oh, I don't need to say your name, but they behind technology wise.
Oh man, they gotta get Twitch together.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, look, guys, listen. This has been another great episode of Just Win. And if you haven't done so, please turn on your post notifications. Hit that bell right there in the corner. Make sure you tune in every week with the notifications of our Just Win episode that's dropping every week with other videos that we'll put up. In the comments, let's interact. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you see or how we can help you grow. And we definitely want to be there. If you want me to be a one-on-one coach, we'll put the link down in the comments and I can mentor you. That's what I do. That's something that I pride myself on. It doesn't matter what you're into or what hat you wear. I got a system that can coach you to become a better person and really be aggressive with the right mindset of attacking your day to win the day. I'm your host, Chris Johnson. Another episode of Just Win. My boy Randall, we in the building. And the guys in the building that don't know the Twitch, he's here. He's right here. Y'all already know who. Matter of fact, I'll put his name in the comments so y'all can go to his Instagram and antagonize him because he don't know Twitch, X, Twitter. He don't know anything when it comes to technology. Why hire this guy, man?
Oh,
Peace.
Man.